So, a long overdue update on the Mark II infrared chopper I purchased about 6 weeks ago. I'll put a screenshot now up here of the original eBay listing, because I've actually forgotten what it came with, but I know I have sourced a seat post, tyres and tubes. I don't actually remember if it came with wheels. What I do know is that the handlebars broke when I was on this project for the first time, and the only time a few weeks back. Let's have a quick rundown of what it needs to be done still. It still needs handlebars, gear shifter, crank arm, front brake, front mudguard, and the sissy bar removing, or at least pushing higher, and it currently is. I've got a seat clamp in the garage. I'm just excited to get some tyres on it and get it rolling, if that makes sense. Assess that seat, get it cleaned up. Let's put you in the cradle and crack on with some further updates and progress on this stunning original paint Mark II infrared. I'll check the frame number and I'll check the back wheel, because like I said, I can't remember if it came with a back wheel. That back wheel's all right, nice and clean. Front one's a survivor, decent chrome. Let's get on with it. Okay, so those who've not seen the underside of the frame, there it is there. Nice decay of grime and dirt. That's the locking nut for the stem. But we've still got a nice build up and deterioration of muck. I'm going to keep the frame all original paint. The decals are lovely and original. Underneath here you can see not the best lights here. You can see the underside of a rear guard and the rack. But yeah, let's the welds are all good. I don't like this light, sorry, I apologise. And the stand as well, it's all there. Got to get a crank arm on there, a short arm crank. So it was at 5.5 mil from the width to the hole to the end. 5.5 mil, correct me if I'm wrong. Looking good. I've done some work on the sissy bar to try to release GT85 heat gun, but nothing's really budging much. I've not made any huge attempts, to be fair. But let's now look at a seat. So the seat I picked up as a bundle. So the seat came with a gear selector and some other parts which I'll put on screen now. Not the best seat. The back is very rusty. But we're going to get his seat post out, all his acorn nuts and the spacers. So you got the acorn nuts at the end there, the spacers on both sides. That's not a proper acorn nut. I have one in my parts drawer, or parts little stack, and then the other spacer there. Very rusty and seized. Then we can knock that seat bar out. Like so, or a hammer. And then that seat strap can come off. Give it all a good clean. You can see there the underside of a seat where the seat strap was. That's a good nick. Old school fag burn there from back in the day. A little bit of damage to the side corner like that, but we'll try and make good a bad job. And obviously the seat base itself is rotten, so ideally you would put a new seat base on that, which I probably will do at some point, to be fair, or at least a new seat plate. But let's try and get his seat apart, or at least the back plate off, and give it a good clean and see how we're fixed with that. So I moved over to the bench where it's better light, because that sun was really strong, you could hardly see what I was doing. Right, seat strap is off. That's come up much nicer. You can now make out the wording almost, and it's a good condition to match the frame. Acorn nuts been soaking in some WD-40. Just go over them with some wire wool in a tick. Bit of wire wool. Seat bars out. Bobber mallet, both ends. And trying to damage the threads. But yeah, give that a little clean up. Obviously you won't see this, will you? But as long as I know it's been done. And then the seat, really grimy and grubby, bit of green algae on there. We're going to squirt some WD-40 on it and go over it with some wax, that sort of thing. Probably not with a pair of these. I like that little rip there, all tells a story, doesn't it? Not sure about this section here. I might try and do something with that, or at least glue, or maybe some foam from an old furniture shop, an old settee or something. Try and cut that down and then glue. But yeah, seat plate itself is very rusty. Not much can be done with that. I made a little start on the corner there. As you can see, a lot of the chrome has actually gone, but it's a survivor and it's correct to the seat, because I very much doubt that's ever been off. But yeah, it's a good seat. Like I said, I'll put on the screen now what it cost this bundle. I sold the gear shifter on, not for profit, but to recoup the money I spent, which in turn makes this seat pretty much owes me nothing, so it's free. So building that bike back up with resalvaged or parts I've dealt with or done dealings, so in turn you try and build, or you try and save and then complete a chopper by using literally no money, but hopefully with a finished article that owes you probably half of what it would cost to buy one. If you build one from scratch and source all the bits needed and buy them individually, and that's when you can get carried away and spend an awful lot of money. But let's stick to my method. Like I said, I'm no expert. I'm certainly not any much qualified, or my builds aren't particularly amazing, but I like to survive, you know, and I like to save bikes as and when I can do it. That is lovely. Obviously it's got to dry, isn't it? But WD-40 on that seat, already a rag, so you're using oil from that rag that's already embedded in that material, and just feed the seat and just feed it. And then you go over it again with some wax. Like I said on previous videos, I like to use that on previous videos. I like to use that barber wax. It gives it a nice feel, and almost like embeds the leather. And then on the side here as well, bit of WD-40. There's obviously other methods. You know, I've heard toothpaste works well, anything. And then maybe glue these bits down with some Gorilla Glue. That's apparently quite good. Yeah, it's a little working project, this little Mark II, but I wanted to keep you updated because I know you've not seen it on the channel for a good few weeks, and some bikes I do move on and part out again and not really mention it, but I like to try and keep you guys updated as much as possible. If you've not seen the bike on the channel for a while, or not in the background, you've not seen it, then drop me a message. What's happened to X, Y, and I'll try and help you out. Give you some details on it, and try and give you some updates on that build. And then the same again. It's obviously ideally you'd take off this whole board, then refit a post, but I'm not worried at the minute. It's a nice Survivor. The CC bar isn't too low, so the seat can be fitted in this video, and then tyres on, wheels on, and just see what sort of position it's in and that sort of thing. I'll finish this off and then we'll crack on with those wheels. As explained in the time lapse, get the tyre on first, depending on whether you're right-handed or left-handed. Get the tyre on first so you can leave that rim exposed. Then you put the tube under the tyre, feed it in through the valve, and then work it in, and then you've got a fitted tyre, just needs air. Then repeat the process with the front wheel. Expose, let the air out. Obviously use it like a tyre lever for that, or get the air out. Then you've got your front tyre. The valve cap is there. Obviously some of you guys know this, but there'll be someone watching at some point who doesn't know how to fit a tyre. And for that reason only, I'll just quickly show how I do it. So yeah, you can see it, right? That's it. Have it like that. Run your finger around the rim. Like so. So you've got that sort of, like that. You can see that, and then you put your tube in and feed. And that there's your tyres on the tubes, in the tubes, tyres on the wheels, tubes in the tyres. This sun is really strong, I apologise guys. And viewers, and that's your front wheel sorted, your back wheel sorted. Those who are interested, the date on this Sturmey Archer hub is just there. There it is. So it's an 80 and 8, so it's August 1980. So it's obviously not the chopper era, because choppers, that Mark II dates from around 73, 74, that era. Maybe his idea is 72, but yeah, either way, get those on the bike. The seat's done. We'll look at that in a tick, and it'd be nice to get it on its wheels and just a progress report. Just get it looking like a bike as opposed to like a pile of scrap sitting in the ledge in the garage. some great results on building up so far this frame that was described by the chap I bought it from as an abandoned project. Don't quote me, I'm assuming he got so far, then thought, you know what, bugger it, can't be asked anymore, costs too much money. But if you source a bit slowly and make a couple of deals, don't always look for one specific part, look for job lot, because you can sell the bits off you don't want and keep the bit you do want. Get your money back when that bit you wanted owes you nothing. It's behind me now, let's show you it. And there we have it. Seats on, seat clamps on. I found that in the garage. No bearings in the forks or headset, that's just on just to move it. Like I said, I'm looking for the crank for chainring. I'll have to source a gear selector. Again, I'll be looking for part bundles, yeah. From my God, and that's it. Let's bring you closer and see how it looks. Yeah, so Survivor front wheel, bit glittery in the sun, but it's got enough bling to it for me to warrant keeping it. This tyre came from a subscriber, I believe. Martin, thank you for that. He sent me some random bits he didn't want, some not worth huge money on their own, combined total, you know, 20 quid or something. But I said to him, look, do you want me to cover postage? He said, no, you've done enough. Yeah, you bring out good videos, I watch them, helps me. Yeah, it's learning curve, isn't it? You know, you learn stuff from other people and you get a good reputation. And I sold him some parts in the past, so yeah, cracking job, mate, thank you. Like I said, it needs bearings in, that wobbles, so obviously bearings sit there and bearings sit in that cup there. Yeah, good condition front forks, lots of grounding grime still, and that sort of thing on the frame. Moving over to the crank, that moves freely. I don't want to be messing about a minute getting cotter pins out, because if that buggers up or splits or the thread goes, then I'm going to be getting out my angle grinder and chopping away at that crank arm to get that out. Minute, that moves nice. Chainring on that and job done. Stand isn't seized, like I said. Rear tyre tube is flat, so I need a tube. I've got one in the garage, yeah. But yeah, this seat up here, you know, it's not the best, but it's not a bad height. It's not great. It's at its limit, but for someone to sit on and just mess about around a field, then it's got enough height to it. It's not like the springs aren't pushed. You know, if it was down further like that, this was down and that cup was taken out and God knows what else, and there was no sissy clamp in that, then you could question it. But for the purpose of moving it about and riding it, it's there. It's there. Yeah. I will try and get it freed up. Of course I will. Rear tyre's bald. There's not a lot of life on that, is there? Yeah. So but a minute. That's not a massive problem. Like I said, it's 1980 August for wheel. The frame number is, I believe, on this rear dropout. On the other side, I'll turn the bike round and have a little look at that. That's the bike from the other side. Nice reflection, nice chrome on the mudguard. Again, it's very damaged and pitted, but it's correct to the frame. It's not massively over battered, so I'll keep it on. The frame number is on his dropout here. It's an early one as well, so I've updated it to about 72 or 73. I'll put a screenshot of the frame number on the screen now. And obviously the back wheel doesn't match, as you know. But yeah, I think it's, once the bars are in, I've got a set of bars on its way. So once the bars are in, the back brake is there. So obviously cables, levers. But it's there, isn't it? And it's a nice Survivor patina. You know, you see so many bikes that are just completely, just thousands spent on them, and they're lovely. Don't knock what I'm saying. They're lovely bikes, but sometimes it's best to. Sometimes it's just nice to just work from the ground upwards. What's available? Oh, there's a frame available with a bar in and a rear mudguard rack and a crank and a bottom bracket. You know, let's work with that and see what we got. I mean, we can just clean it as we go, because there's obviously there's plenty of imperfections, as you can realise, in the rust and the decay. But isn't that what makes a bike? Makes it a survivor. Yeah, lovely old thing. I'm going to put you out of your misery. Your misery. I did buy that ice cream cart. I did buy it. I can't help it. But it's going to be fascinating to see what I got up to. Those who are regular know I bought it. But yeah, still hit that subscribe button to find out how I get on with it. My plans are with it. I'm going to finish up now. Nothing else I can do in this video. I'll put a separate video of this chopper on the YouTube shorts for those who just flick whilst on a work break and just flick, you know, just boost the algorithm, get those numbers up. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Leave any comments you like on this build, on this infrared. It was important for me to get it out and show you the update on that seat and wheels and that sort of thing, just to show I've not moved it on and not turned it on. Plenty more coming up on the channel. Always keep my eye open for parts or projects. Lows coming up, still work to do on that Mark 1 red grifter. Plenty of work to do. Hit me a message if you could, any questions or any comments. If you have a bike for sale, drop me a message and I'll catch you soon on the next one. Thanks for watching. Have a safe couple of days. I'll see you later in the week.